Tonight, officials ponder a mystery explosion that ripped part of the roof from a commercial jetliner almost 5 miles up in the skies near Hawaii last night. And survivors marvel at the skill of a steel-nerved pilot. Correspondent Jerry Bowen begins our coverage.
The Aloha Airlines jet was parked on a distant ramp at Maui's main airport today as federal investigators tried to determine the cause of the mystery explosion that ripped a 20-foot opening in the forward fuselage with almost surgical precision. The FBI is involved in the probe, but a bomb has reportedly already been ruled out. The jet, with 90 passengers and a crew of 5 aboard, was en route to Honolulu from Hilo yesterday afternoon, flying at 24,000 feet when the explosion hit.
Suddenly it went poof, a loud noise, and it just, the whole thing come apart. And I personally thought we were all gone.
What were you thinking?
Well, that was it. I didn't think I was going to live.
Well, there was an explosion, and it started with a hole in the ceiling of the aircraft. Then as we were coming down, I guess with the speed of the plane, it was tearing apart the fuselage of the plane. It was just ripping it apart.
Well, something hit me in the head, and stuff was running past me, and I just had to get out of the way.
The rapid decompression sucked one stewardess out through the gaping hole. Clarabelle Lansing, a 37-year veteran of the airline, is presumed dead. Passengers held on to a second flight attendant to keep her from being pulled away. Helicopter pilot Fred Slusser took this video during the hectic minutes following the emergency landing. Rescue workers were still helping the 60 injured passengers, 13 of whom remain hospitalized tonight, 2 in critical condition.
6, 7, 8.
And a stewardess was taking a head count to learn if anyone else had been lost, as the crippled jet, powered by just one engine, limped 25 miles to a safe landing. Witnesses marveled at pilot Robert Schornsteimer's ability to bring the jet in at all.
I mean, it was just going like that, like he made a real good landing, whoever it was, because the wind was just blowing the people. You could see their hair and stuff, like you could really see the people from the hole.
And when it was all over, the passengers who had cried and prayed and in some cases simply waited to die sought out the pilot to say thank you. More than a few survivors told Captain Schornsteimer the landing of Aloha Airlines Flight 243 was the best they'd ever had. Jerry Bowen, CBS News, Kahului, Hawaii.
Speculation on what may have caused a huge chunk of the Aloha Airlines 737 to break away is focusing on structural failure, possibly caused by metal fatigue, cracks, corrosion, or high cabin pressure, rather than an explosion.
Our word is that the FBI nor the experts on scene have found any evidence of any explosive device.
It looks like the top of the fuselage failed at some bulkheads and some seams.
The Aloha 737, 25 miles from Maui, was flying at an altitude of 24,000 feet when the front section lost its roof. Passengers say it sounded like a large balloon popping.
There was an airworthiness directive put out by the FAA last year that required the airlines that operate 737s to look in approximately that area of the fuselage for cracks.
A similar accident occurred in 1981 in Taiwan involving a 737 which was flying at 22,000 feet. A large section broke loose and the plane crashed, killing 110 people. Investigators later attributed the accident to corrosion. The FAA says cracks and corrosion have been found on Aloha jets 8 times in the past 5 years.
Well, corrosion is a serious problem, and in any environment. It's particularly of concern when you're operating in the Pacific, in a saltwater environment.
There is another similarity between the Aloha and Taiwan 737s. Both were older jets, built in 1968, and had experienced tens of thousands of takeoffs and landings. Structural failure has been the cause of many airline disasters. 2 British Comet jets came apart in midair in the 1950s. 346 people died when a DC-10 crashed near Paris in 1974. And 3 years ago in Japan, a 747 crashed after its rear bulkhead collapsed. 520 people were killed. Investigators tonight are examining the Aloha 737's gaping tear, trying to learn why the jet blew its top. Peter Van Sant, CBS News, Atlanta.